Come on, everyone, let's be quiet.
Not polite, is it?
Okay.
So this is called Vajdahunyad Castle. Another difficult name to pronounce, right? Vajdahunyad is a place today in Transylvania, which is in Romania at present. And it used to belong to a family, the Hunyad family, which was well known and important in our 15th century history because they were fighting against the Turks. And at the turn of this century, when the Millennium Monument was erected, there was also a world exhibition organized on the side of the city park. And an architect, whose statue you can see over there, the statue, was given the task to show and represent architectural styles in one building, that is, all styles and design that can be found in Hungary. So that's why in this one building complex you can see Gothic, Romanesque, Renaissance and Baroque parts. This part actually, this is a copy of this Vajdahunyad castle in Gothic style. Then we go in and you can see some Renaissance loggias, balconies from the northern regions of Hungary. To the left hand side you will see a chapel which is also the exact copy of a Romanesque chapel found in the western part of Hungary. And the biggest last thing is in Baroque style, which is today the Museum of Agriculture and Forestry. So we walk in there, and then outside the museum we stop. There is an interesting statue there which I would like to show you.
Come on, guys, hurry up with the pictures. Okay, smile here. Okay. All right, that's enough. Don't ruin the film.
You thought I was wrong. That's what it was. You wanted to prove I was wrong. That's
You want both of you guys, or you just want?
Is that Rabbi Lowenbraun inside there? Rabbi Lowenbraun, take off your hood.
Any more guessing?
I got you with that one, John.
All right, enough. Let's cut
1
it.
second.
Okay, guys.
Smile. Rabbi, 1 second.
Everybody say Jolt 37.
Everyone say Jolt 37. Look at me. 1,
Get out of the way.
2, 3.
Where is?
Wait! Stay here. Stop it.
He takes your money and stamps it.
We used to write
John!
Hey, come on, let's cut it now.
most important documents and also the history of the reign of one king. So this man was a notary in the 13th century and he did a tremendous job because he wrote the chronicle, the history of the Hungarian people from their wandering times unto the conquest of this territory and the first kings. But in the Middle Ages, as you know, it was also customary that these people didn't sign their name, they only put the initials. So we don't really know what his name was, that's why he is called anonymous, but he was very important and actually this piece, this chronicle, is one of the first important pieces in our history and literature. The sculptor who made the statue was called Ligeti, and it was the beginning of this century. Chose, you know, he didn't know what he wanted to illustrate, that we don't really know who the person was. That's why he shows the person in a hood which hides his face. So we don't really know who he was, how he looked. We only know that he did exist. So that's why this interesting sort of rope and the hood, and that is not a cigar but actually a pen in his hand, right? So that's why he's called anonymous, and it's one of the most interesting and outstanding statues in the city park.
Where did he buy his clothes? Sorry.
Have you
Did you say Jolt 87? Someone's got that anonymous say Jolt 87.
Come on, let's move quicker.
The fountain, ready?
And here we go.
Go ahead, Peter.
Number 22. Running through the fountain. What? That's called running through the fountain. Howie, are you?
Joe, why are you wet, Rachel? Why? What'd you do, Rachel?
I went in the sprinkler.
Oh, that's
Was it
nothing.
fun?
I went in the sprinkle.
Oh, what?
Jolt 87.
Look how wet
I am a sprinkler.
This is right near changing of the guards.
I cannot believe you're about to do this. No, ready? See, Jolt 87.
Are you filming?
Yeah.
No, I see.
Sure. Okay, ready?
No, Jolt, Rabbi doesn't watch.
This is Jolt 87 here at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
No, we want to say.
As they're discussing the incident by the Jolters which took place here at the International Zoo.
Is this the Tomb of the Unknown Joltster?
And he's explaining now that they're going to replace those statues with members of Jolt.
How are we in this?
I gotta get the shot.
Jolt 87.
We're now discussing that the final big two, out of the Rabbi, is the biggest statue of them all. And the two on the sides, there and there, will be Susan, Sarah, and Howie.
Doesn't that guy look like a doctor?
The one in the middle can't talk.
Soldiers now over there. Let's get the soldier.
I'm gonna stand next to the channel. And you can get over there, alright? There's the channel.
Right there, Howie, go.
Okay. Tell me when it's there.
Angles, so it formerly was called the octagon, and then we turn onto the main boulevard
I've never seen a small boat.
that leads to Margaret Bridge. So the main boulevard goes from one bridge to the other in a semicircle.
That's why I asked. I was surprised.
This is also really close right here. This right here.
The majority of the buildings along these main roads were built from the 70s, 80s of the last century when Budapest became the capital of Hungary. And then all the big public building mission ministries and apartment buildings were put up. So that was the time that the development of Budapest as a metropolitan city started. And then a lot of architects were called in and invited also from Vienna. It explains the resemblance. So if you walk in Vienna and in Budapest, you will find a lot of similar buildings, since a lot of architects went for both cities. And also this great boulevard resembles very much the boulevards in Paris, so that from that time. And here we are again at the Western Railway Station where you arrived this morning. And the boulevard itself has several sections. One section ends here at this square, which is an important traffic junction point, a public transport junction point for buses, trams, and also the underground. Something about...
Why does my camera run out of film now?
Why didn't you bring extra film? I know that. My camera doesn't get any of this stuff.
Ugh.
That's a my camera. Hey Russell, smile. So I got this news for you. I think you can stay there. I don't know why.
Did you hear the wonderful award they gave me?
What?
They gave me Tourist of the Year.
Tourist.
What?
Wait a second, wait a second.
Baby, come up here.
I can't get over it.
Ready? Are you gonna do Rocky? Do it, Rabbi. Dun, 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 dun.
Just look at 8, not Rocky.
Play it can do it. You come on, you can do it, Rachel. Rachel, it's only 300 more steps. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
87. Going to save the damsel in distress. It is our duty. Adieu!
So it can also be an explanation. The whole thing was built in 1902 and 4. This area, I mean this overlooking terrace, so it has no historical significance, so it is not used for anything else but for...
When is castle from?
Now the castle is on the other end of this hill, the royal palace actually, which goes back to the early Middle Ages, the 12th, 13th century. Today, in the royal palace, you find 3 museums and the National Library, because the whole place was destroyed during the Second World War, so it was all bombarded, and it took about 25 years until they managed to restore.
They built this area too?
Not, yes, but especially the Royal Palace. So the outside is the same, but inside it's a modern museum. The building behind us, over there, that's the Hotel Hilton. And the interesting thing about it is that it was, this is the modern new wing. If you walk around the building, you will see an old part of it. So it was an old administration building before the war. Inside the hotel, there are the cloister. And the whole hotel is built around
my goodness.
Roxy?
Shut it. No, come on.
America.
Can you say it, please?
All your friends are going to see you on TV. All your friends are going to see you on TV.
Can you say it, sir?
Jolt
Jolt
87.
87.
What would I
No, from the age of 14, I was thinking that it's specialized, which is a day school. So
How many?
it always varies, not too many, but that's around 50, I would say.
They're not session, I will on vacation.
Okay, I will on vacation. Then first we go to the city.
Alan, can you hold this a little bit, please? Well, then we'll shift it off to other people.
Okay. Can I close it and you carry?
Yeah, you can put it this around your...
Yeah. What do you got me here?
Bricks. The Rabbinical Seminary in Budapest.
Get that studious look on your face. What a model, what a model. Please go on this one. Not messed up.
He's also high school student. Most of them go to the high school. How old
We have a Jewish ISIS. We'll take a picture. Take a picture together with him. Yeah, let's take a picture. All right, let's get a picture with him. The Jewish ISIS.
Jolt 87.
Come on, everyone. Let's go. Let's take a picture. Quick. Guys, come on.
Anybody else?
Let's get the picture. Okay. Get the picture. Let's snap it. Come on, Russell, want to do this picture. Okay, thank you.
So the house upstairs. Picture time.
That was the ceiling we're trying to get. It's a tough angle. It's a tough angle too.
students of the Jewish high school
A
who were killed.
az a szeminárium külön van a zsidó gimnázium.
Még túl a Kiddush Hashem.
Ott külön volt egy gimnázium, de minden.
They were killed right over here?
No, in general, who just killed the students of the Jewish, the seminary high school, the seminary, and the rabbis.
You should tell everybody. Tell everybody.
Annak ő volt akkor a miniszterelnök.
Could you tell us some of these interesting ones that we have here and how we can wait till everybody comes in?
Esetleg egy pár szót mondanak?
That's a little bit
Talán csak nagyon
Röviden.
jó év van, hogy a szemináriummal együtt 1577-ben alapították, most lesz 110 éves októberben.
So the library, we are now in the library of the seminary. Don't touch anything, please, right? So it was established in 1877 together with the rabbinical seminary.
A legértékesebb magja, gyökere, alapja, a legértékesebb fam, az egy nagyon nagy olasz zsidó történet, a padovai Collegio Rabbiniconak a professzorának a magánkönyvtárat megvette, elvitteni, később nagyon híres tudós, Kartmandára, a könyvtár számára, és idehozta, és ebben 12-től 17. századi kéziratok, és 15. ősnyomtatványokból kezdve egészen a 19. század közepéig terjedő éber ritkaságok, bibliográfiától kezdve az első nyomtatott tanulkiadásai, főként velencei,
So the most precious core of the collection comes from Italy. A very famous scholar called David Kaufman bought the collection of the famous college Rabbinico in Padua in Italy, consisting of manuscripts and rarities, Hebrew manuscripts and rarities from the 1st to the 17th century, and it also has the first published editions of the Talmud, so goes up to from, and also the Shulchan Aruch. So from the 12th to the 19th century, very precious Hebrew manuscripts and books and manuscripts can be found in this collection. So the core, the basis was bought from Italy from a collection of another college or seminary.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Do they work for these manuscripts to be published, or are they just kept here for studying or to look at?
Azt kérdezik, hogy ezeket csak itt tartják, ezeket a kézzelkötőt, és ebből tanulnak, vagy ezeket ki is rakták.
Hát nagyon keveset kiadtak, mert nagyon sok még kiadás.
Very few have been published, and there are still a lot to be studied and edited for the publication.
Most vagyunk tárgyalásban segítség, mert sok pénzt
Because it
igényel.
needs also funds, so the publication.
Memorial Foundation.
For Jewish culture is trying to help now.
Yeah. What about, is it possible for them to see a volume of the original Talmud manuscript without the Rashi and Tosafos commentary? I don't think they've ever seen that.
Lehetne ilyen eredeti Talmud képletlen esetleg, hogy megnézzenek a Rashi nélkül, tehát ami még az egészen régi, még soha nem láttam.
Hát
Nem tudom, hogy itt lesz-e olyan,
Hát
mert ez inkább nem az.
mert rengeteg Talmud sorozat van, egyes
De nem olyan kell, ami
Az
régi.
a
Régi, de az benn van a Svájcnak a belső szobában, oda nem
Ja,
tudom.
kéziratos már?
Igen.
Sajnos az igazgató.
Igazgató nincs itt és nem.
The director is yeah,
That's
these very
very
precious,
valuable.
yeah, this is in his room.
That's
So,
in his room. What's the total?
This is not a complete series, only egyes darab.
Persze.
Single.
Single
this
volume.
is
So you have the first Talmud was published in Padua. It was not one of the. It's a manuscript. It's not a printed. Printed was later.
Tehát printed too.
És ez legelső, vagy arra kíváncsi, hogy ez a legrégebbi tanulmány.
Azokat a ritkaságokat.
De az mikor?
Mindjárt megmutatom.
1477.
És az nem nyomtatott az?
Soncino kiadó.
It's from 15th century. De az még nem nyomtatott.
De már 1450-től van nyomtatás, 1477, 87, ezek itt mind nem a komplett, hanem egyes darabok, és utána 1500-as években már nagyon sok. Egész napjáig is minden, arra törekedtek, hogy minden tanulmányi kiadás a világon meg.
Yes, from the 15th century, the seminary did not buy all editions of these songs from these times, that is late 15th century on, but then they could collect again.
Akkor még említettem meg, hogy a Müncheni Talmud kézirat 12. századi, az két, tehát az reprintben megjelent 1913, abból kettőt is vettek. Ezt meg tudom mutatni.
The Munich Talmud edition from the 12th century was published in reprint early 20th century. For instance, they bought two copies of
hogy minden
those, so just they were really striving after having all possible editions of.
How many total volumes do they have in the entire library?
Ja, ez a rész.
Hát becsülni tudjuk, hogy 85 és 85. De még aztán említsenek, hogy nagyon sok modern világ van.
Avicenna, Pérusz Smith et Abraham ben Jacob Landau. Azért ben Mikrokázik, 1449. Bible, Venetia, David Kimchi, Sefer, Shorashim.
Yeah, Sefer Shorashim. That's reprinted. That is already reprinted many times. But you have an original edition. I have that.
Only printed.
Yeah, I have a print.
Ja.
Print of that.
Hagiografia. Ja, így version. Maimonides.
Yeah, you're from 14.
Mishneh Torah.
The right, Mishneh Torah, 1480.
Ja.
So that's without.
Mishneh Torah.
I saw that in Krakow.
Mishnah.
Yeah, 1492. With the Pirsha Rambam. The Rambam. We have many rare books.
Yes, and this.
Barbanel, you have just very many rare original editions.
We have
many rare
No.
So there are about 85, 90,000
300
rare editions.
And there are about 85, 90,000 volumes around. And you must also know that for long years this library was closed down due to the lack of staff and the lack of money. So they have just started this February to renovate, to put, to organize and to arrange the volumes.
When will they reopen again?
Mikor lesz remélhetőleg készül.
Októberben, azt az egyetlen munkafolyatása, addig új termet kapott, 3000 és referenciális, ahol elsősorban és ideiszítését ezt megmutatott, hogy megmutatott.
So they are preparing for the 110th year anniversary of the seminary, and the new room will be opened with 3,000 volumes as a reference library, mostly Hebraic and these things. So this is this October, so most hopefully the whole thing will be arranged and
Don't the rare books need to be kept in a special environment so they don't
azt kérdezni, hogy ezek a régi könyvek, ezeknek nem kellene valami speciális tárolószalon, nem menjenek több.
Ahogy lesz rá pénzünk, az is lesz.
You want to keep it in humid without humidity.
That's also a question of money.
That's a very serious problem.
This is egy nagy probléma. The new room of
Okay.
the
Very rare, like first editions of them. additions, which are very, very valuable. And usually in every community used to keep their records. The stories that I told you.
ספרי הקטנה, מקום קידוש. After, yeah?
Alright, let me explain what this is. Every community had their records. For instance, I told you that when my grandfather was in Krakow in the 1920, he checked in one of these to see what a tombstone meant.
These people not record books. Every place was a Kehillah and Hevra Kadisha. Before Kehillah was Hevra Kadisha, and together Kehillah, Hevra Kadisha. The course book, every Kehillah belonged to Likos, but Hevra Kadisha no.
So the Pinkas was separate. This is not the Zelo Pinkas. The Sefer Kadisha.
Hevra Kadisha.
Pinkas
Hevra.
כן.
גמילוס חסודים.
כן. אני אמרתי להם שהסבא שלי כשהיה בקרקוב.
קרקוב?
כן, ב-1920. הוא ראה שם מצבה משונה והוא ראה מייסה נורא בפנקס. אני כבר אמרתי.
Think of Erlo.
זה שם
name Eger.
That's a Hungarian town in the northern
Eger.
region. This is Agri.
Ja.
Igen,
1843.
So this is the Pinkas, this is what he checked up when he was in Krakow to see the records of the Chevra Kadisha.
You will see
From
another
1843.
This is from 1843.
and another volume we are going to see this morning in the Jewish Museum from another town, Nagykanizsa.
Nagykanizsa, ja. Takana.
This is all the takanot, all that each one they accepted on their service.
This is the name.
Names of people who were buried. This is the story.
When he was entry, member of Hebron.
A member of Hebron.
And when he died, and he died
1861.
Yeah. Now, this is another one.
How many years was it covered?
Levaya. Ja, Hatzul, Tamim Pola.
Chadrach HaMishpat. Pinkas Shayach was named Chevra
Libne, Hevra Kadisha, Gimel Chasudin, Yishuv, Halash.
Halash.
Kishku Halash. Tavku, so the Gimel. Ja? Ja. And this conscriptio typical history of a Jewish name.
I know it is. I know
Einstein, Adler, Feuerbach. Benne van a foglalkozás, hogy hol.
Anybody here, what do your grandparents say? They live, anybody from Hungary originally here? What? What's, not from Pest, no?
Which one?
What's your name?
What is their name?
Riesman. Riesman.
Riesman?
Riesman.
W or R?
R. Let's check it out.
Reis.
These pictures of the people were the former rabbis teaching in this seminary.
What? So how many people were in Pest? How many combination?
Right. So actually,
What's on the other side?
this is a
Megillah
copy.
Esther.
So a copy made during the Holocaust, and this is what they used for, you know. So
Who made this copy?
someone who just wanted to copy this noble certificate.
When
You know,
you become
these are kept in the National Archives, and the point is that they simply desecrate.
And the other side's Megillah Esther.
Yeah.
Hey, you see that over here? When you become appointed by the king to nobility, this is a certificate that they give you.
Show the other
Right?
side.
And then you see what
You know,
they-
these documents are usually kept in the National Archives.
He's a student of the seminary.
English?
Just a little.
During the Holocaust, they did it, you know, that they used such things just for copying a noble certificate.
How many students כמה סטודנט יש בסמינר?
עכשיו? שבע.
שבע.
Seven people in the seminary now.
מכל...
Yeah.
More teachers, more professors.
How many professors?
More than
More than students.
More teachers than students. It's the personal attention that this seminary provides.
De most Magyarországban van.
Now at present they have students from Hungary.
De most, mondd meg, hogy most avattunk.
Because
Májusban 2
in
dolog.
May,
Yeah.
two rabbis from the Soviet Union were ordained, and they went back to the Soviet Union who studied here. So at present they have students from Hungary.
Alright, so where are the students from?
Honnan valók?
Az egyik volt Moszkvából, a másik Kijevből.
No, but you mean the Hungarians?
All the students.
Today,
Mi
now,
egész Kelet-Európából veszünk föl diákokat. Jelen pillanatban most magyar, de tavaly volt.
you
Szovjet
know,
azért
in
volt, cseh.
general, they take students from all over Central East Europe. At present, they have only Hungarians because two rabbis were ordained and left. You know, they went
Daniel
back.
Mayer, where is he from originally?
He was from Prague.
From Prague.
Prague is on
A prágai,
That's what they
a
learn.
moszkvai,
That's what they learn here.
And
Exactly.
he was
What he's
from
learning.
Prague, he came here to study, he was ordained here and went back. The Moscow chief rabbi similarly studied here, went back.
But the mayor is originally from,
Prague.
he's from Prague, but he just studied and he went back to
Yes,
Prague.
yes, yes.
ugyanígy Moszkvából, Rigából.
How long is the study, how long does it take to become?
6.5 years.
That's more than why you use me.
Yes. So also the rabbi who is the chief rabbi in Moscow and Riga, they came from there, they studied for 6.5 years, went back. So the two ones who were ordained this May, they also returned to the Soviet Union. Where is your smicha from?
From Yeshiva Ner Yisrael of Baltimore. Yeshiva
Ask him
Ner
what's on the
Baltimore?
the speech, what they learn.
Ken, Baltimore.
Can you ask him what he learns? What they
Ja,
learn?
onnan, ott is azt hiszem díszoktor volt a sejtben, Baltimore-ban.
The former director of this seminary was an honorary doctor also of the Baltimore.
Or which Johns Hopkins, which one?
Az egyetemnek vagy a yeshivában? Perhaps the Johns
Azt hiszem,
Johns Hopkins? No.
azt hiszem, hogy az a Jeshivának.
No, probably the yeshiva because he was honorary doctor in the Jewish Theological Seminary, I think, and a lot of others. Both yeshivas and secular, you know, Oxford and Cambridge also.
That's Dr. Schreiber.
Schreiber, he's
What is not good?
the second one in the lower row. The second one.
What is a normal day of study? How does the schedule work for
So
students?
hogy kell
So, in the morning, we went to
Wait, everyone can hear this.
Guys,
He's telling you what the daily schedule, what do they learn in a day, how does he spend his day, he's learning here.
So, in the morning we went to the synagogue, and after the celebration we come here, have a breakfast, and the studying is begun. We had
So what time you actually start your day?
pardon?
What time do you start the day?
At 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. The after tefillah, this is after davening before. You start davening
The lab started at 7:30.
Yeah.
It lasts until 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Now the studies have begun. We have 6 or 7 lessons a day. And, at 1:30 we finish our lessons, and we have enough spare time in the afternoon. Then we can learn or read what we want to do.
So then you do like your homework then?
Yeah.
What are
So
those
the
lessons?
classes are only in the morning?
Only in the
And
morning.
then you do your work
in the early afternoon.
What?
In the early afternoon.
You have class in the early afternoon. And so then you do your work afterwards. In other words, you do work independently.
Yeah.
In the afternoon. What can I ask? What you have to? What is like? What do you have to finish in order to get your time? Like for instance, I know when I'm in America, what I need. What kind of things? What kind of things do you study?
Oh,
Too much.
So.
Jewish history, Hungarian Jewish history, Jewish literature over the world, Talmud, Shulchan Aruch, Tanakh, of course, Tanakh, Torah, and speech, szónoklat, tehát abból is kell gyakorlat.
Rhetorics.
Ja, homiletik.
The what?
Ez nem jutott eszembe. Milyen rhetoric, jó?
Rhetorics, so sermons, you know how to make.
Oh, so I was speaking. Homiletic.
Yeah.
Homiletic.
Yeah.
Right. For instance, in Talmud, what is the methodology that you use for studying Talmud? For instance, we use a lot of the, Rashi Tosfot and also the Rishonim and what we call, the.
Yes. Talmud with commentary.
Which commentaries do you usually?
Rashi.
And Shulchan Aruch is a certain.
Shulchan Aruch, of course, Yoredea. Yoredea. And the other, but Yoredea.
Yeah, like
the most
important.
You're going to become a rabbi eventually. You want to be obviously.
So. Can I ask some questions? Why do you want to become a rabbi?
Oh, it's a hard question. It's a hard question.
The money.
No, I was born in a religious family, and I think my fate is to be a rabbi. And I love to teach children, and I like to speak to other people. I love to learn. I love to teach. It's the best job.
Do you feel that all the learning that you're going through for it is worth it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, I have a congregation. I'm a rabbi and the director of the archive. Yes? I teach and I search in the archive.
You have a synagogue here in Budapest?
Yes, I have a big synagogue in Budapest.
The big synagogue?
Not the most.
It's another area. Actually, I belong to that synagogue.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Budapest, there are 5 big synagogues. 5. And
your congregation?
Conservative.
So 5 bigger conservative schools. One of them is in the area.
So the 5 neolog and 2.
No, 5 big, but there are more bit to fill out. Not synagogue bit to fill out.
Anybody have any questions?
Igen, mikor lehet adni?
First question.
I'm studying for 3 years, and I have 3 years more.
Okay, can I ask you a question just about the Hungarian Jewry?
Pardon?
How easy, let's say someone in Hungary wanted to leave, like go to America or go to Israel, is that possible? Or is it very hard?
Yeah, she just came back from Israel just a week or 2 ago. We're asking questions about the study over here, interested about what it takes to become a rabbi. Anybody have any other questions?
Okay,
They also have a question.
Yes.
Do the kids go to Jewish schools?
Yes, yes. Anybody? How many of you go to Jewish schools?
Jewish high school. Jewish high school.
Jewish high school. Jewish high school.
Jó, és akkor kérdezz vissza, jó, hogy miket tanulnak a bizonyos.
So what do you study? What do you learn there in the Jewish high school?
Mi az a plusz, amit egy zsidó
What is
iskola...
the school you go to?
No, mi az a plusz, amit egy zsidó iskola ad Amerikában a többi iskolával
So
szemben?
what's the difference and what's the additional syllabus and material you get in a Jewish high school as compared to the other schools?
I wanted to ask you that, like, we learn also Hebrew as a language. Do you learn it as a
Only
language?
language.
We also learn like Tanakh.
Tanakh.
But do you learn it also as a language? Like the grammar?
Yeah.
Do you want to know what they study in high school?
Ez egy pillanat, látom, hogy zsidó visszakérdez.
Would you mind answering first the questions?
Monica, say it again. Say it loud.
So what do you learn in high school? Answer the question.
No?
Talmud, Chumash, Navi, Halacha, and history.
Yeah, Jewish history. The story? It's not the story. History?
And also the story as a language.
Yeah.
Átmegy a verőkig? Igen?
Mi מדבר בביתו?
Hányszor voltak Izraelben?
How many times have you been to Israel?
I've never been.
Never?
No, most men.
What?
Twice?
How many times in Israel?
Three. This will be my fourth.
Only 6 people here have not been in Israel. Have any other questions about it? Anybody have any other questions about it? No. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Yes? What? Yeah, they have everything. They have good shkita here.
No, do they teach it here?
The Melanim Shokim Polo. This is a different thing. The shkita you go to learn from. They teach over here shkita. They teach here.
Shkita? Yes. Yeah.
They do. Yes. Okay.
Where do the teachers come from? Who are the teachers? Where do you get the teachers? Of the community? Did they also get their smicha from here? Or?
Obviously. Is this in all guys high school or all like guys too?
All boys or
all boys.
Boys.
Do they have a girl?
The high school is not, that's mixed.
Oh, okay.
The high school is mixed, so it's...
How many students do they have?
In high school? Mennyien vagy? 70 körül.
Around 60.
What is the difference between girls and guys? Boys and girls? How many
Ratio.
What's the problem?
Mi van, több fiú vagy lány?
Yeah.
No, I think everywhere girls.
That's a prejudice.
No, a zsidóknál a lányok közben van.
In general.
Subway station in.
This is the biggest roller coaster.
Here we go.
Of all time.
Great adventure.
Here we go. The biggest
Six
roller
Flags Great
coaster.
Adventure.
Has your seatbelt on,
Here
sir?
we come.
Are we ready for takeoff?
Make sure I don't fall on my face.
Are we ready for takeoff? Watch out, it goes fast.
Here we go. Heads up.
Heads up. I'm falling.
We thought it would be funny if we took Budapest subway escalator system and made it go 100 miles fast and raised the elevation up to 100,000 feet.
As the bullet shoots
Let's see what
through
happens.
the
And
revolver barrel.
now we're switching. Now we're switching down. Ready? Are we hitting the end soon?
Like this. Yeah, you gotta go like this. Hold on. High five. High five. Yeah. All right. There you go.
Budapest now. This is the tombstone from Roman times.
Look at that over there. That's copper.
Guys, Tiffany, Sydney, we have to go. You can get it on the way back, probably, okay?
Don't see him. Here he is. Here he is.
Jonah?
Now, another thing I might show you before you move around. This cup, the portrait on the cup is the founder of a famous China factory in Hungary, in Helen, who also made wonderful saber plates. They are going to see next room. Also, all over you can see Polish and Russian and Italian objects.
How come you have nice stuff they have junk in Poland? This is nice stuff in Poland. Come here. I want to. Just simple items put together and things like that in my own home. Over here, at least, you have some certain things of great beauty that you've never seen. These Rimonen, for instance. This is from the 17th century in Padua. Padua, you heard it. They have a lot of collections here from Padua. We have a relative, Jack Padua. He must have come from the famous city in Italy. But over here, there are some. Over here, there are very interesting and beautiful things.
Now, the other thing which is unique and cannot be found in Hungary is grounds or Torah. So this shape and this type of the decoration is very typical.
Well, that's typical American also. That's what they look
call
like.
it, at least they say that in Eastern Europe, this type
On a clock. This is very, very unique. This is really something very interesting. What? Usually you have a whole cloth with the whole Megillah, or the whole Sefer in it. This is with Nekudot, and it's also the only the Haftarah for that parsha. This is what we're going to be reading when we come to Israel. This is Chazon Yeshayahu. This is Shabbos Chazon, which is the before Tisha B'Av. That's what you read. And Nachmu is the Shabbat after Tisha B'Av. It's significant that they have it open to those two places. One of them talks about the fact that this is read in in Eicha truck. It's read in the sound in the tune of Eicha, and this one is one of consolation. Nachmu Nacham Yom Elekechem. That after the destruction, that there will be a return to Israel. Interesting. You know, this must be from a different period. The artwork, the handwork, wood was generally Poland. Poland was very famous for their woodwork. My
Oh, this is for each yontif now.
That was a Holocaust memorial?
No, we didn't get to that yet. That's the last one. The Kosher Eliyahu. Tremendous.
What are those up there? What are those supposed to be? Summon boxes?
Fit a whole bottle of wine on
We
it.
have one almost that big from Pesach. We use it right here too, but it doesn't look like that. Not gold, silver.
You have one almost as big?
Almost.
No.
No.
I should...
Kittel, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Look at that hat. Look at the hat. Okay. Oh, wow.
That's for the cantor in the synagogue. It's the...
It stood in front of the Almond. Get really close. Tell me. What does it say? Betach, Hashem, Aseito, Ishiyas, Ishto. So let's see. That's
What was our rule about Tzaddik L'Yisrael Simcha?
They have all the 5 Megillot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the 5 Megillot. 5 Megillot.
That's the 5...
Each one of those illustrations are 5 Megillot. So that was Sefer Megillot Koheles. That's Koheles on the right. And that's the Jacob sleeping with the angels going up.
Yeah.
Right, under there, that's Shlomo HaMelech, and that's right. So that therefore that's Kohelet because he wrote Kohelet. So the right illustration is Shlomo HaMelech. Under that is Ruth. Zehu Megillat Ruth Ishto Boaz. Okay, Bakat Shibolim. And that's Ruth. Okay, and then that's David HaMelech and Tehillim. David HaMelech is Tehillim. And that's Shlomo Melech again, and that's Shir Hashirim on the bottom left. You see 2 kings?
Yes.
And that's Esther.
Esther.
The Queen Esther. This is such a fine work, this amazing work of art.
All this is
Right. Each one is the entire book written so small. These kids should see that.
The entire book?
Yeah. The whole. And look, that's a letter. What's the letter up there?
Oh, wow. I didn't even notice what you were saying. It's the whole book written.
Right. That the whole illustration. You look at that. That's Yaakov, right?
Oh, wow.
And that's so Koheles, and that's Rus.
Oh,
right?
Windows?
I do like them, but they're not important. Come here, we'll find some other stuff.
Okay. I just want to close up one.
Gosh, was that on tape? Skip it.
Skip it.
Oh my god. Taking it.
Oh, sorry.
Ask him to say Jolt 87.
Who's this guy? Is this guy important?
Here's Etrog boxes.
Oh, that's important. That's an Easter egg.
What?
It's an Easter egg.
It's not, it's an Etrog.
Yeah, you're right, isn't it? It's not an Easter egg. Go in here?
Menorah.
Just menorahs? Those are pretty windows, aren't they?
They're really cool.
Oh, no, yeah. This menorah.
Look at the whole case. There's a beautiful thing. Get the menorahs over there. When you get everything here to stand and hold it, it's a great shot.
You like this stuff?
Yeah, I love it. You get a little bit of everything to stand.
You want me to? Okay. I was just doing it in a haphazard way. Okay. This menorah has Napoleon on top.
I'll show you something interesting. Look at these Megillos. Look at these illustrated Megillos.
Oh, pictures.
And look at the nudes on top. Look at these small ones here too. Can I shoot something up there?
Sure.
Get a nice angle on this wall. Can you get the cup really good? That one?
Yeah. Seder for Bris Milah.
And look at these people that they were. Look at this. I want you to get this on this souvenir.
Okay.
It's a different muscle. That's not sugar. That's not sugar. That's a tonight. It's not sugar.
Yeah.
It's a Tanayim from the city of Korpo. Listen to them. Let's see, Rabbi, Shabbos, Arba'es, Yom, Lefesh, Shnas, Tamim, Shalach, Arameas, Yesheva, Stian, Yil, Rabias, Shnas, Ela, Ushnas, Ela,
Corfu, it isn't a ketubah. This.
No, it's not.
What is it?
It's a Tanayim. Tanayim. It's a
What
different
is
muscle.
Tanayim?
Before the wedding.
Before the wedding?
Yeah,
before the ketubah is not at the wedding.
Ez az előzetes szerződésre számít.
That's something like a ketubah, no?
So it's made for the engagement before
the text is different.
Completely different.
And the parents
What
agree.
is the text here?
Firstly, it has the Christian date in it. It has both dates. It has Rabbi Shabbos, right? It's the 14th day, Rabbi Shabbos. Erev Pesach. This is Erev Pesach. Who gets married Erev Pesach? This is Erev Pesach. This is agreement to get married, but not that they got married. Yeah.
The other ones are ketubahs.
The year 5475 would be Ushnas, Elef Sheshmi, 1647. The Churban Bayis, it counts. You see that? You see that in Nusach? It says in this year 5475 475 creation, and 1,647 years from the destruction of the temple that should be built.
How old is this one? 300 years.
300 years old. Shopsy Dick
That is a legend. This is a very beautiful one, like a gravestone.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Hungarian work.
It's absolutely beautiful.
This book, each page has a different pattern of Hungarian folklore drawings. Here you see, each page has an other one. tasó. Gyönyörű a tasó. A kicsit csúnya. 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 Gyönyörű. Were kept, they were taken into the courtyard of the hospital to see the exhumed bodies of their victims here. That is,
These are the people that they killed.
yes, the war criminals. They were sentenced to death later on.
And then they were killed there too.
Among them was a woman too.
A woman too?
After the liberation, people who died in the ghetto is made of wood.
It says that Jews are not allowed in Christian area. I'm sorry, the opposite. Christians are not allowed in Jewish area.
Forbidden to enter. Christians are forbidden to enter.
Auschwitz, Auschwitz gegaan.
In welke jaar?
Van de draaijoer, dan in dat draaijoer.
In welke lager?
In Auschwitz.
Auschwitz? Je bent bevrijd in welke jaar?
En we vrij in de lager. En dan deed ik niet op.
Bevrijd van Auschwitz of in de lager?
Van Auschwitz.
De Russen?
Russen.
We waren zijn hier.
What do they say? I'm Deborah on Jolt 87. We are on the Hyundai something, and we're docking now.
Yeah, we're docking. We're parking now.
Whoa, docking. Bye. We'll see you.
Yeah, Howie, I bet you just faked that gay battery.
Some online, but he keeps losing it.
Just so you can play with it, no one else.
And every time he does it, to catch my stitch, I pick up three. And he lost about 20 of them, you know? So I sat there and redid them.
That's more than I can do. That's more than I can do. If it's starting, I could probably do one stitch. I used to be able to do it with a big fat yarn. I may be able to do it. Big fat yarn. It's like this thing around. Let's see if I remember. I don't remember. Probably not. Probably not. Let's shot. Where's the pound that I tied up the time? Okay. First thing we do is just take 2 feet, right? First five. First five.
Unless you want to carry it.
Take this, pull it through, put it around again. I got to pull this one through those two, and I lost it. It didn't work. It didn't work. I remember how to do it. I just haven't done it for a while.
Let's go, guys.
We are 45 minutes and still lost every single thing.
Get a picture of the dress belt.
The Jolt flag flying high.
We thought it would be I'm having fun. This is Candace Cameron. We thought it would be funny if we put an Italian flag on the Hungarian people's travel boat. Let's take a look.
Sarah Beth! Wait!
I think we found one.
Taxi! You know, when we're standing on that side, they come this way. When we're standing on this side, they go that way.
Ain't that the truth, ma'am?
Just can't win. Jeez.
In the Holocaust, he came to Budapest. He was the son of a very wealthy Swedish family. And he came to Budapest as a diplomat. And when he realized the situation, I mean all the persecution, Jewish people and some other groups and nationalities were suffering in Hungary in the early 40s already, discrimination and concentration camps and deportations. He decided that he had to help. So in the Swedish embassy with his colleagues, they issued certificates, the so-called Schutzpasses, which meant that if someone had a certificate claiming that he was a Swedish citizen, that means he was under the protection of the Swedish king, then these people could not be deported, and he established the so-called safe houses where Jewish families could move in and were under the protection of the Swedish embassy and the Swedish king. They had the banner of Sweden on these houses. If you remember the first day during the sightseeing tour, I showed you a street named after Lowenbraun. That's the area where most of these so-called safe houses were opened during the Holocaust. He saved the lives of thousands of people, mostly Jewish people, even after the German occupation, which took place in March '44, then the Germans started deporting the Hungarian Jews.
I'm confused. Hungary was in part of the Axis. So what do you mean German occupation?
Because up till '44, Hungary was an ally of Germany, but then the governor of Hungary, called Horthy, started to seek connections with the Allied forces, that is with Britain and the United States, because he realized that Germany was losing the war, and he tried to make peace somehow. Now the Germans, of course, learned about it. The Hungarian fascists did not support it. So what happened, that Germany occupied Hungary. Up till March 19th, Hungary was not under German occupation, which
that's why the deportations of the German Jews with a rush of 6 months. At the end of 44, 7 months, they were sending people to Auschwitz.
Yes, that's, before 44, Hungarian Jewry was not deported. The men were drafted into the Hungarian army for slave labor. And the women and children had a lot of difficulties. Those who managed to move to these safe houses, they had to move to certain buildings which were marked with David Star, the yellow star. They had to bear the yellow star, but they were not deported.
But were they in ghettos before the German occupation?
No, no.
They were not in ghettos? Did the Hungarians kill Jews before the Germans moved in?
Mostly in the army. So Jewish men were killed and tortured, and they suffered a lot because they went along with the Hungarian army to Russia and all the fronts, and they were supposed to do the slave labor.
Right.
So Lowenbraun came already in the early 40s, and with these Schutzpasses and the safe houses, he already saved lives before the German occupation. When the Germans occupied Hungary in March 44, Eichmann came with them, and he started organizing the deportation.
All right,
and the first region was mostly northeastern Hungary and the provinces. So from Budapest, they did not deport the Jews until 44 October, November. Because in the summer the deportations were stopped, since Horthy was still trying to find some peace pact or treaty.
Well, didn't the deportation stop for a while they were trying to find money to bribe the Germans?
No, it was stopped for political considerations mostly, since they were really sending out envoys to, secretly of course, to talk with the British and the Americans. So they hoped to find some peace treaty before the war was totally lost on the side of Germany. But what happened, when Horthy proclaimed peace on the radio in October 44, the Hungarian Fascist Party, which was called the Aerocross Party, took over. He was ousted, he had to go into exile, and the leader of the Hungarian Fascist Party took over. His name was Szálasi, and that led the country to a total destruction. Now, during all these times, Lowenbraun was here, and he saved Jews even from the trains, the cars, before deportations. He went to the railway stations and went on the cars and claimed that I know him and him and him, and he took them off because I know they are Swedish citizens, they have the certificates, etc. So he really did you know what a lot of other people should have done during those days? Now what happened, he in fact disappeared during the siege of Budapest, which was going on in January and February 1945. I'm sure you all heard about various versions and rumors. Most probably, lately a newspaper article or several articles were published here that said that he was a victim of the purges during Stalin in the 40s. So he died in Moscow in 47 in a prison. And after the Second World War and the liberation, a monument was put up in his memory. But this monument actually was never revealed. That was made by a sculptor called Pácsai. Then the monument somehow disappeared. They named the street after Lowenbraun, and up till this May, in fact, there was a kind of a silence about Jolt Lowenbraun. This monument was made by our most prominent sculptor at present, a Hungarian sculptor. He is not Jewish. His name is Imre Varga, and I also read his interview which he gave to the New York Times, and yesterday I talked to him and listened to him in person in the afternoon. So he said that he felt it was the obligation of the whole Hungarian nation and the people to put up a memory to Lowenbraun, who did what everybody should have done, but he also decided to preserve the first monument, because Pácsai, the sculptor of the first monument, was his teacher. So what he did, if you look at this big marble sculpture, you can see engraved a serpent and a man fighting the serpent. A Latin quotation by Ovidius saying that when the weather is fine, you have a lot of friends. When the sky gets cloudy, you remain alone.
Can you read that? You know that? Read it. Let's hear it.
It says exactly what you said.
Down here.
I can't translate it as well.
So just read it.
When?
Read it. Just say read it Latin.
In Latin? It's Latin?
Yeah.
Tempora si, Nicola, solus eris. Solus eris.
So what?
Solus eris.
A time when it's cloudy.
Time when it's time when it's when the weather's stormy.
Just some of the other great quote.
Now, so he had actually, the sculptor of this new monument, another aim. This is showing the serpent and the man fighting with it. He wanted to show Lowenbraun as a human being, quite fragile, just facing the storms of the time. So if you go back and have a look at it, you can see, especially this hand, which shows you, the new monument, that he was just a person who tried to fight. Now, the granite pieces, so these huge stones, were granted as presents by the Lowenbraun family in Sweden, and the cost of the monument and the putting it up was covered by the municipal council and the city of Budapest, and it was unveiled in May this year. May the 9th, it is the so-called Day of Peace, when the whole Second World War was over. So that's...
Why over here?
And it's over here because, according to the stories about him, he used to walk in this area a lot, and he used to stay and just come here quite often.
I have a question. There are rumors, or they say, I don't know, I've heard whatever, that he's still in jail in Russia. Is there any truth to that?
Well, I can't give you a definite answer. I can only tell that I
What about this one over here?
That's the other half. That's the other half.
You said this was the original sculpture? This one right there? When I was lost and found?
I thought this was a new one.
This was a new copy of the original sculpture.
It's classic. It's classic.
That was what. When I spoke to Thomas yesterday, Thomas Lensbay, all right? He had a brother and a sister who were 4 and 5 and 4 years old who were thrown into the Danube. They were shot and thrown into the Danube off the beautiful bridges across the Danube. His sister Clara, who was older than him, her father was a doctor, and there was a hospital, it was a Jewish hospital here, and they went and they killed all the doctors, right? You didn't tell them about that. Tell them about that.
You mean this hospital in Buda?
Yes.
It's a pity
They
that,
lived in Buda. Her father was a doctor.
You rushed out of the museum yesterday. I mean, so fast because there was a photo. So
There's a photo of the. There's a photograph of people lined up in front of bodies.
Yes, that's right.
If you would have been there long enough, you would have explained it.
So there was a hospital, a Jewish hospital in Buda. There were mostly women, children, and elderly people. And when the Hungarian fascist party, the Aerocross party took over, so from October 44 on, their troops, you know, and soldiers and just the mob always went into the Jewish houses and the hospitals, looting and killing people. So they went in and there was a massacre there.
The fascists went in.
The fascists and the Hungarian fascists.
Hungarian fascists, yes.
And they killed everybody in the hospital.
All the doctors.
All the doctors and the patients, everybody. And so in the photo in the museum you could see after the liberation they were taken back to the same hospital and they were hanged or shot in the place, you know, so in front of the graves, just like...
When did they actually kill these people?
In 44, November, December, so in
Okay.
the winter.
All right, now, so the first question that Thomas asked me, Cindy, what's the problem?
Sarah.
You take care of them. The first question Thomas asked me is, these children have no parents who were in the Holocaust, have no children. What difference does it make to hear all these things? Why? How does it affect you? And very frankly, I'm having the very same difficulty. My father had a family that was a wife and children that was killed in the Holocaust. My father never lived to tell me about that. People from the Holocaust did not tell their children about this. So to me, everything is of great interest because I grew up among children of the Holocaust. One of the most difficult things that I am having with this group is that question that Thomas asked me, is how different, you know, if somebody says more of the same, I mean, you know, 30,000 here, 50,000 here, 3 million here, 200,000 here. The numbers, it's numbing. It is beyond. I mean, you stand there at Birkenau, it's meaningless. After years of thinking what it would be, I just could not. The guy says to me, here's where you pray. Here, look at the ground. Here are ashes. Here are bones. I mean, you don't know where you're standing. There's no way to relate to this. And if we talk about one single person that saved 50,000 people, one person saved 50,000 people. Does that make a difference? All of you, 50,000 people. He saved 50,000 people, and we cannot even thank him, all right? Does that mean anything to anybody? Does that show what one person can do, that what one of us could say over here? Now, one thing about the Jewish religion, the Christians say that only the people who believe in Jesus are saved. We are all, every single Jew especially, who does not become a Christian will burn forever in hell. We have an entirely different picture of the world to come. We say that everybody has a place in the world to come, and we have a special responsibility. And there's a thing called Chasidei Umas Olam. If you look in the Rambam, in Hilchas Malachim, the laws that discusses the future world, he says there's something called Chasidei Umas Olam. They get the same place as the great rabbis, the great teachers. There are no second-class citizens. There's no such thing. A tzaddik, a person who learned Torah, a guy is mechuyev, is obligated to do the 7 mitzvahs. If they do it perfectly, they get the same. A tzaddik who is a non-Jew gets the same place.
There's a world to come for all of us. We do not believe in this separatism which the Christian world teaches. And this man is, no question in my mind, is perhaps one of the greatest people who ever lived. You think about the fact under the noses of the Germans to go to the trains to take people off. Does that take guts? And he disappeared, and no one knows where to thank him. No one knows where to thank him. And everyone who could think about doing something right, this man did something right. This man stood up. This man danced in the streets in Budapest. He saved Jews. There was no greater crime. There was no greater criminal act than if he would have been found, the Nazis. Still, I can't understand why he was taken away. What happened to him?
Nobody actually knows. Recently, several versions, articles have been published, which is also a new thing, you know. They interviewed people who met him for the last time and so on. And what I'm telling you that in the latest article I read, it said that he was taken because they supposed that the whole activity or action was under the auspices of the CIA, so the Soviet army feared that he might have been also an agent or something, and he definitely died. So the Soviet authorities claim that he died in 1947 in one of the Moscow prisons as a victim of the purges, and they of course have also put it right, so you know it was the Stalin era, and that's it. So that's how much we know about it.
Yeah.
And just one more thing, that the same sculptor who made this monument, I met him, you know, yesterday when Mr. Bronfman was visiting the Jewish community. He came because he made the plans for a huge Holocaust memorial also to be put up in front of the big synagogue.
Where is
Dohans, yes, which is a huge monument, like a menorah with the three branches, and the three branches falling or coming down with, there will be 40,000 leaves on these branches for 40,000 family names. It's a fantastic memorial monument, and it is the same sculptor who is a Hungarian, and he keeps repeating in all his interviews that he feels that it's his duty and obligation to do it for the nation and to express at least that much, that all people should feel responsible for what happened during the Holocaust.
This lady wants to say something. Now, you've noticed throughout Europe there are a lot of monuments. You've seen a lot of buildings, and all very nice. Well, the monument that everyone here, it's not enough to remember. I've heard that many times. It is not enough to remember. It is not enough to tell. We believe in action, okay? We believe the ability to get up and do the right thing at the right time. That is the lesson that you should take from here. And this man can teach us that lesson. That people are afraid, people are worried, right? The man probably died in 1947 after doing such great things. I want to tell you just one other story about Chassidi Umas Ha'olam. I want to tell you another story. You hear, this is the message right over here. Not to stand on the sidelines, not to be apathetic, and not to say someone else will do it, because usually no one else is there to do it. You have to do it. It's your responsibility. It's my responsibility. It's my responsibility if I see a Jew in Moscow in the streets of Budapest to help them out, to make that, to do whatever I can. It's my responsibility here now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when I grow up. Remember, Mrs. Solomon said he was guarded by 14 and 15-year-old Nazis in Germany, okay? Your age is meaningless. You could do it, you could save, you could be as important as any other person. It was the children in the ghetto who saved them from starvation by climbing under the wall. Another story by Chassidi Umas Ha'olam. In Yugoslavia, there was the papal nuncio, Cardinal Roncalli. He also did a similar act. He was giving out baptismal papers. He was giving out papers to Jews saying that they were baptized as Christians. You all know about the silence of the Vatican, right? Pope Pius, I read many books. I read by Rabbi Weissmandel. You know about his book? Rav Weissmandel, Michael Ber Weissmandel. There was a Jew here in Hungary who was involved in trying to bribe the Nazis to pay them off, 10,000 trucks to save the Jews of Hungary. I want you to know that the American authorities did not want to break the law. They did not want to aid the Germans. And they let 1 million Jews, how many, 500,000? 500,000 Jews. They could have saved all the Jews of Hungary could have been saved. You heard about the joint? The joint that gives $40 a quarter to the Jews in Poland today. Wonderful. They give a few dollars. Well, they gave a few dollars here too, right? They gave money. They had, by 1944, it was fully documented. The plans, the roads were perfectly clear. People took pictures. The partisans, the Jews, they went to Churchill, right? They knew. The world knew. By 1944, there was no way. Everybody knew. Look in the front page of the New York Times. It was said over there, today they killed, every day they're killing Jews. And page 14, not the front page. 10,000 Jews a day, 25,000 Jews a day deserved page 14 in the New York Times in those days. Rav Weissmandel went, and it was in Switzerland, to the joint. And they were talking to all, to Eichmann. Eichmann was willing to give, to leave the million. It was the end of the war. It was the end of the war. He would have rather had money than Jews. It didn't pay anymore. He was willing to let the Jews of Hungary go free. And the joint did not, the American authorities, the world was not willing to break the law. To break the law, right? To bet, in order to save a million people. 500,000 people died because of this. But he saved 50,000 people. One person saved 50,000 people. 10 people like that would have saved 500,000. 20 people would have saved 1 million. Think about it. And there was a papal nuncio, Cardinal Roncalli in Yugoslavia, who also saved thousands upon Jews. And according to what I read, while the world slept, Mora wrote a book, all right? That among them is my own Rebbe, my own teacher, the Bavra Rebbe, or Shlomo Halberstam, received, it says in that book, he was saved by Cardinal Roncalli. Well, the Vatican could not tolerate this. Somebody from the church that was saving Jews, so he was moved. He was moved from Yugoslavia, where there were Jews, to a place where there were none, Turkey. Well, we were in Poland, and we were in Warsaw, and we were by the grave of the Rabbi of Ger. Well, his son weighed 80 pounds, and they smuggled him out of Europe. They smuggled him and his brother out of Poland in a Polish colonel's uniform, and they got him to Turkey, to Istanbul. And the boat came to the port of Istanbul on Shabbos, and he was too weak to walk. He weighed 80 pounds. After being in Poland for all this period of time, he didn't eat very much before the war, and he came to the port on Shabbos. And the law is that if you travel on a boat and it docks on Shabbos, you can't get off the boat. You cannot get off the boat because you live on that boat. It's like going from the different cities outside of this country. So Cardinal Roncalli carried the Rebbe of Belz, I'm sorry. I was with the Rebbe of Belz, Reb Aaron of Belz. Cardinal Roncalli, the Belz Rebbe and his brother. Cardinal Roncalli, first there were two things. Jews were not safe. Carried the Belz Rebbe on his hands because you're not allowed to walk on Shabbos. Remember that? He carried him on like this through the streets of Istanbul till he took him to the house. You know who told the story over who was there? I heard it not directly from Chaim Herzog, who was the president of the state of Israel, but Chaim Herzog told himself, who was there, who saw the papal nuncio carry the Belz Rebbe through the streets on Shabbos. He told it to Carmi Schwartz, who I bought my house from. He's now the president of the Council of Jewish Federations. He saw that the papal nuncio carried it. Now let me tell you another story. He died in 1947. Well, in the 1960s, when Pope Pius died, there was a deadlock. There was a deadlock. And the bishops could not pick a pope. They could not. So they arrived at a compromise of a person who was old, and they figured that this person will die soon. So what they will do is they'll make this this little old man, Pope, and he'll die soon, and then they'll find somebody else. The person they picked was Cardinal Roncalli, Pope John, and he was the one who set up the Ecumenical Council and got off the books that the Jews are responsible for killing Christ. The same one who saved 50,000 Jews in Yugoslavia, who carried the Jews through the Belzer Rebbe through the streets of Turkey on Shabbos. Cardinal Roncalli later became Pope John, who was again one of the Hasidic Ummah Olam.
John the 23rd.
That's right. He also, that Pope, the other popes, this Pope here who shook their hands, was the first one to give recognition to a Nazi, to Kurt Wildheim. And today, my friend Dr. Sigmund, who we saw in Prague, when he walked in the streets in Vienna, and they saw his kippah, they said to him, "Nach Judah," and they spit on him. Still Jews? That's what they have to say for us in Austria. So we have to learn that we cannot be apathetic, and we have to listen and take a message from these people who are non-Jews, that we should learn to care for somebody else, Jews or non-Jews alike. Because he did this for human beings, not for who are oppressed. It is our responsibility to help all mankind. Okay, let us go.
Wow, what a country. Wow. Enough. We thought, oh God. Here I go again. We thought it'd be funny. I'm gonna come and pick this up.
Just one more picture, guys. I'm gonna take two more now. Stay still. Two more, but don't move. I took that.
What?
He just took a picture of that.
Of me? No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Guys, look up to the camera. I'm just gonna take one more picture. Come on, guys.
There's a bite.
Stop.
Oh, I hate when they...
Okay.
Jump.
Okay, Joltsters. Joltsters, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody. Once again, the Jolt 87 tour is going to save fair damsel in distress.
Damsel in distress. She's depressed. Damsel who's depressed.
Where's Rapunzel?
Rapunzel, blow down your hair.
Cindy, where are you?
Yeah, she can't. She just got a haircut because of the 3 weeks. We're really sorry.
Hey, show me your tits, just pull me up.
I'm king of the mountain.
I'm queen of the mountain. If she can be king, I can be queen.
Here, you guys get together for a picture, okay?
Yeah.
One.
That's going over after this.
No, so
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Don't worry. Don't scream. If you're going to fall off the mountain, fall off peacefully.
Except, Peter, the thing is, I'd fall down there and you'd fall all the way over and land in the Danube.
But someone has to get in that window all the way up there.
Let me take it and you go up there.
I'll go up in the window?
Yeah.
Take a picture of God.
How do I do this? Tell me which button.
Holding backwards now. Put your hands through here. Put your hands through here. Put your hand through here. That's what I'm holding it. Put your hand through here. Okay.
Yeah, which
You can
button?
see. Now when
T
you
or W?
now these two make things farther and closer.
Which?
Well, you see?
Which does?
Try both of them.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Now when you want to record,
Your nose
now,
is waiting like
when you want to record, you press the thumb button.
What?
The red button that your thumb is on. That's when you want to record.
Wait, tell me if the red light is on.
No, it's not under the light on. It's on. When you see you'll see record written out.
Oh, it says record
So
run.
that means you're recording.
Well, how do I get it off?
Press it again.
Climb on the rock over there.
Push the rock.
Virginia, talk
Hey, Virginia.
He's fixing his camera.
Keith.
Yeah. Oh.
Virginia.
No picture showing pen. Boom.
Hi.
You're gonna like it.
Howie, how'd you get up?
That's it. What was that?
Oh, thank you, Howie.
We have to save Snow White.
Go save her.
Snow White.
You do that, Howie. He ain't gonna do that. Bye. Say something.
What did I say, Monica?
Boy, is this crooked. You better go.
Laying the flowers.
I'm moving.
Let's break it.
Oh my gosh, this is neat.
Have you challenged this?
Yes, not. Is he still there?
I hate this camera. I really do.
Jolt 87. We are with Keith trying to put his film into the camera and he does not
I'm
know
so
what
screwed up.
he is doing. Deborah, hi Deborah.
Hi, how you doing, Monica?
What's this tour called?
What's this tour called?
Jolt. No, this is Jolt.
ISS
Word
doesn't
ISS?
have it.
Bye. Oh, there's Howie.
Is it on?
Yeah.
You may not recognize me. That's where I carry American Express. This is where I live. I go around, people don't know who I am. That's what I say. Carry American Express.
Move into the light.
Leave your castle without it. Where's Howie Landau?
Did you get that? Yeah.
Oh my god, that was hysterical.
How are you?
They probably think he's doing a real commercial. No.
I feel so alone up here. Howie!
Oh, go get die da
Check out these Germans over here making fun of Howie and...
I told you, I because of the wonderful things she does. Dun, 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 dun. We're up. Sleepers, blips, and blunders. Oh!
Jolt 87! Yeah!
We're a little bit lost right now. We're looking for the Yellow Brick Road. If you've seen it or heard of it, please contact us. We're looking
What are
for
you
the wizard.
here for, Lion?
I want some courage. I'm the king of the forest, but I needed some courage.
Walk with us, stay with us.
Here's Howie. Now, Howie, let's explain to the audience out here where we are. Besides in the hot, gross sun. Howie?
Me? I'm on? Oh. Hi, I'm Howie Landau. I gotta be me, I gotta be me. I've waited my life, I've tried all my heart.
Howie Landau, signing off.
Monica, isn't this great?
Zooming in on Deborah's nose right now. Deborah, say something. Tell the camera where we are.
Wonderful music for downtown
Excuse me, Michelle.
Are you recording this?
Here, get a picture of that woman over there, Inspector.
At least a picture. I mean, you can get on. Do it again. And again.
Set on.
Howie's come on.
Cindy, what are you
Peter,
doing?
Peter, can I ask you a question?
Play with me folding.
Wearing the rest for about 3 weeks.
That was the second one. The first one, yes. He went down there on the seat.
Do you see that? Raga?
Are you serious?
Do you see that?